Okay, time to start. So we'll start with our prayers. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Harihi Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanu Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Aviravirmayedhi. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriditam kalmashapaham Shravanamangalam Srimadaatatam bhuvi grinanti ye bhurida janaha. May we be protected, may we be nourished, may we strive with energy and vigor, may our study be enlightening and not give rise to hostility. Om peace, peace, peace. Lead us to truth and not to untruth. Lead us to enlightenment, not ignorance. Lead us to immortality and not death. Let the self-manifest Atman grow in me. Om peace, peace, peace. Your nectar-like words and warm and inspiring life stories, eulogized by learned sages, are indeed eradicator of shoots of ignorance. These are auspicious to hear and propitious to inculcate in one's own life. Those who take these words to the world are indeed great benefactor of the world. There are many qualities mentioned in our scriptures. Abhayam, Shatta, Samsuddhir, Jnane, Yoga, Vyavasthiti, Danam, Damascha, Yajnascha, Swadhyaya, Staparjavam. Many. There are 26. So, Abhayam, fearlessness. Sattva Samshuddhi, who has purified one's being. Jnana, and who is steeped in knowledge of self. Yoga, who has united oneself to the Supreme Self. Like that. So there are many qualities. But these are aspirants, ordinary aspirants, they acquire those qualities. And it doesn't happen all of a sudden. It requires rigorous, one-pointed, back-breaking effort. Then only one gets it. There are so many obstacles on the way. But one has to hear this time and again. And then when the heart is full by hearing, then only hands are ready to work out. That means then we practice it. So we have to cultivate these qualities by repeated Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, hearing again and again. And then cogitating within whether it is beneficial, whether it is helpful, or it is not. And remove all the doubts. And after that one should lead that life. But this is for aspirants. What about the ideal characters that we have? Say Holy Mother. Her life is so pure right from the childhood. So it is divine who incarnates Niranjanam Nityam Anantarupam. that who is taintless, who is eternal, who takes birth for the benefit of the human being, for the benefit of all being. So it is not that they are aspirants. They show they are aspirants in their lives. Sri Ramakrishna also did lots of tapasya, penance. But it is to show human being how one should gather all strengths, all his or her strengths, and put it and channelize it in particular way to achieve something. So give this example, they take birth. So Sri Ramakrishna, Holy Mother, they are that supreme reality incarnated for our benefit. We don't find everywhere characters like that. Incarnations especially. They are the manifestation of divinity for the welfare of humanity. And it is not commonplace. We see special manifestation there. See, Sri Ramakrishna did so many tapasya, so many penances, so many spiritual disciplines that ordinary people cannot do it. That is why we see special manifestation of God. So with these words, let us contemplate the character of Holy Mother. It is wonderful even to hear. Though we may hear again and again, but still one should not miss such an opportunity. So we'll start. Paul.
There we go. Can you hear me, Swami?
Yes.
I have a different microphone today. The other one had a bad cord, but here we go.
So 14th, 14th chapter?
I'm on page 270. Sorry, 210.
Yeah, 210. So in the beginning, Holy Mother, the Western women. Lajja patabrite nityam sharade jnanadaike papebhyo na sada raksha kripamayi namasute. Another reason why incarnations. Because human power is limited. Human can emancipate oneself, but they cannot help others. It is like Sri Ramakrishna gave example, the ordinary log. Ordinary logs, even a bird sits on it, it will drown. But special manifestation of God is like steamboat or big ship. They can not only carry human being, even animals, big machines. So they have that quality. Now this is strange that Holy Mother, though born in a village, not educated properly as we understand, but her outlook was very Catholic, very open. When Swami Vivekananda brought some Western disciples to India, he had this fear, what mother will do with them, how she will receive them. But to his amazement, he saw, then Swami Vivekananda saw, that mother accepted them as gracefully as possible. It is impossible to imagine what is the social taboo that time. First, she was a widow. So she would be very, shying away from the people, let alone the Western. I mean, Eastern, even from Eastern, she should hide. And then not to touch others. So, touching is very, very important that time. But mother took them as as her daughter, and even kissed. How kissing? Kissing a lot, not Western kissing. Like she would touch the chin and then like this. And she sat by their side, talked with them, feed them. And Nivedita was special to her because she would address her cookie baby. So that is why Swamiji was amazed to see that how mother accepted them. So, O Sarada, O giver of spiritual knowledge, O you who always cover yourself with the veil of modesty, please always protect us from all sins. Salutations to you, O compassionate one. Yes.
All right. Whoopsie.
Everything in this world.
Right. There we go. Everything in this world is subject to change. Science and technology are rapidly changing the world, and human beings are adapting to those changes. Nowadays, people's education and upbringing, culture and behavior, way of life and style of living, food habits and style of dress, values and goals in life are quite different from those of people who lived in the 19th and early 20th centuries. As we study Holy Mother's life, we see that she lived according to the culture of ancient India. When Vivekananda's Western women devotees met Holy Mother, they were surprised to see how she lived. It was hard for them to believe that a woman who wore only one cloth, walked barefoot, kept herself veiled, and without formal education could conduct the spiritual ministry of the Ramakrishna order. Holy Mother's life is a meeting point of the ancient and the modern. She was born in a rural Indian village in the 19th century, and she passed away in 20th century Calcutta. From her very birth, she was endowed with divine qualities such as purity and modesty, love and affection, devotion and humility, forgiveness and compassion, truthfulness and simplicity, patience and perseverance, faith and forbearance, renunciation and discrimination, service and self-control, courage and fearlessness. During her maturity, she conducted Ramakrishna's spiritual ministry, advised his disciples and devotees, became a mother to the Western women who came to Swami Vivekananda, asked her disciples to learn English, and encouraged girls to have a modern education.
You see, like we also could see that because we also are from, it is a bit advanced village, but villages still had that same culture. So we are from that in transition period. So I have seen that how society changed totally. Even my outlook changed totally. So what Maharaj says is right, that many a practice that time is unimaginable now. But that is true. And that time it was, why it happened? Because India was invaded by foreigners, especially Muslim invaders. So society, to save itself, went to cocoon, as it were, and protected itself in a very particular way. Not to, especially women with veil, especially northern women. Even if you go to south, that was not practiced. But in northern India, they used to veil, so that women folk are protected from the outside invaders. And also they went inside the village So that way it became regressive. But it is to protect the society from invaders. Okay, go ahead.
In Dakshineshwar, Ramakrishna had a vision that he described to Holy Mother. I was in the land of the white people. Their skin is white, their hearts are white, and they are simple and sincere. It is a very beautiful country. I think I shall go there. Later, when Vivekananda and other disciples went to the West to spread Vedanta and the universal message of Ramakrishna, some Western women helped them immensely. Swamiji observed that one of the causes of prosperity in the West was education for both men and women, whereas women were neglected in India. He remarked, a bird cannot fly with one wing. He believed that both men and women were necessary to build a successful nation. Swami Vivekananda wrote from America to his brother disciples, we must first build a mutt for the mother. On 25th February 1897, he wrote to his devotee Sarah Bull, the widow of Norwegian violinist Ole Bull, my duty would not be complete if I die without starting two places, one for the sannyasins, the other for the women. Vivekananda wanted to give Indian women an education centered on Holy Mother. For this purpose, he received financial help from some Western women, two Western initiated disciples, Margaret Elizabeth Noble, Sister Nivedita, and Christine Greenstidel, Sister Christine, dedicated their lives to educating Indian women.
Yeah. So like he could start Ramakrishna Math and Mission at Belur Math. But Sarada Math was started later. But it was initiated by Sister Nivedita, Margaret Noble. And later when Sarada Math came up, actually those who were trained there and trained by Holy Mother, they were the leading, they were in leading position, the president and other nuns. So, though it was not physically done, but spiritually or subtly it was done through Nivedita. And even Holy Mother went there and inaugurated that institute. You know that Ekata is from that school. Still it is there, yes.
On 17 March 1898, Miss Sarah Bull, Miss Josephine MacLeod, another of Swamiji's devotees, and Sister Nivedita, then Margaret Elizabeth Noble, met Holy Mother at 10-2 Bospara Lane in Calcutta. Although they did not know Holy Mother's language, they communicated through the language of the heart. Holy Mother received them affectionately and treated them as her daughters. When they were served refreshments, Miss MacLeod asked, through a translator, won't you eat with us? Holy Mother readily agreed. When Swamiji heard about this, he was overjoyed and wrote to Ramakrishnananda, Mother is here and the European and American ladies went the other day to see her. And what do you think? Mother even ate with them. Isn't that grand?
Say Brahmin widow is unthinkable. Even I used to visit, say, Christians, though I mean Indian Christian, but we would not touch the water, etc. So it is amazing that Mother was so liberal. Yes.
Swami Nikhilananda explained how unusual this was. In general, she was very punctilious about observing Orthodox Hindu habits, especially in the matter of food, and avoided eating with people outside her own caste. This partaking of food with foreign ladies was, as it were, a sanction given by her to Indian society to accept and absorb them into its fold. After meeting these Western women, Holy Mother understood that the Master's vision in Dakshineshwar of white people had been realized.
Mm. And you see, like, not only that, mother silently did a revolution. Before that, also some people started uh, interacting, but general public did not accept that. But when mother did that, it says Swami Vivekananda was surprised. So everybody then accepted. With Sri Ramakrishna, that eating in same caste or not to eat in other castes, that was prevalent there. And it happened in one place where Sri Ramakrishna was invited and he started taking. And then he also asked some other people, those who were hesitant to partake prasad there. Then he said, no, no, come. And they also could understand then when Sri Ramakrishna is taking, so who we are. So gradually this natural uh, or abnormal, not natural, abnormal taboo went off. So time was ripe and it must go. Yes.
At this first meeting with Holy Mother, Mrs. Bull wrote, "We were the first foreigners to have received permission to see Sarada Devi, the widow of Sri Ramakrishna. She called us her children, and saying that our first visit to her was of the Lord, she felt no strangeness in being with us. When I asked her to define the obedience to a guru, who in her case was her husband, she replied to the effect that when one had chosen a guru or teacher, one should listen to and obey all his directions for spiritual advancement. But in things temporal, one could most truly serve a guru by using one's best discernment, even if at times it was not in agreement with the suggestions given. It is interesting to note how these Western women regarded Holy Mother. On 22 May 1898, Sister Nivedita wrote to her friend Mrs. Eric Hammond in London, "I have often thought that I ought to tell you about the lady who was the wife of Sri Ramakrishna, Sharda as her name is. To begin with, she is dressed in a white cotton cloth like any other Hindu widow under 50. This cloth this cloth goes around the waist and forms a skirt. Then it passes round the body and over the head like a nun's veil. When a man speaks to her, he stands behind her, and she pulls this white veil very far forward over her face. Nor does she answer him directly. She speaks to another older woman in almost a whisper, and this woman repeats her words to the man. In this way, it comes about that the master, Vivekananda, has never seen the face of Sharda. Added to this, you must try to imagine her always seated on the floor on a small piece of bamboo matting. All this does not sound very sensible, perhaps, yet this woman, when you know her well, is said to be the very soul of practicality and common sense, as she certainly gives every token of being to those who know her slightly. Sri Ramakrishna always consulted her before undertaking anything, and her advice is always acted upon by his disciples. She is the very soul of sweetness, so gentle and loving, and as merry as a girl. You should have heard her laugh the other day when I insisted that the Swami must come up and see us at once, or we would go home. The monk who had brought the message that the master would delay seeing us was quite alarmed at my moving towards my shoes, and departed post haste to bring him up. And then you should have heard Sharda's laughter. It just pealed out. And she is so tender. My daughter, she calls me. She has always been terribly orthodox, but all this melted away the instant she saw the first two Westerners, Mrs. Bull and Miss McLeod, and she tasted food with them. Fruit is always presented to us immediately, and this was naturally offered to her, and she, to the surprise of everyone, accepted. This gave us all a dignity and made my future work possible in a way nothing else could possibly have done.
Yeah. One thing uh, like how to wrap sari, now you know. But the thing is, if you see, there is no blouse also. So, how to manage? Even I have seen village women, they wear saris. So it is, and sari is now worldwide, known worldwide. So, and Nivedita was lucky to see the laughter of mother. we, we are not. Okay. Go ahead.
Then you should see the chivalrous feeling that the monks have for her. They always call her mother and speak of her as the Holy Mother, and she is literally their first thought in every emergency. There always there are always one or two in attendance on her, and whatever her wish is, it is their command. It is a wonderful relationship to watch. I should give love I should love to give her a message from you if you care to send her one. A monk read the Magnificat in Bengali to her one day for me, and you should have seen how she enjoyed it. She really is, under the simplest, most unassuming guise, one of the strongest and greatest of women.
Yeah. So Nivedita was very rationalistic. It's not that she's writing just a poetical writing. No, she observed, and he also observed Sri Ramakrishna. Swami Vivekananda. In the beginning, it was hard for her, but even she felt the tenderness and the same time strength in mother. It's very, very rare and amazing. Like everyone would obey mother as the final word. It's unimaginable. So she noted that. Yeah, go ahead.
Holy Mother and Josephine MacLeod. Miss MacLeod met Holy Mother many times. On one occasion, she went to Calcutta to pay her respects to Holy Mother. She watched as the Indian women devotees bowed down to Holy Mother, touching her feet with their foreheads. Miss MacLeod stood there for a few moments, unable to decide how she should pay her respects. Holy Mother caught her eye and, with a slight movement of the hand, indicated that Western devotees need not follow the Hindu custom.
So
Miss
liberal,
MacLeod
so
impressed.
considerate. It's unimaginable. Yes. Yeah, go ahead.
Miss MacLeod was impressed with the mother's common sense, which she later spoke of as one of her most impressive characteristics. Swami Vivekananda wanted his Western followers to see some other spiritual role models, so one day he sent Mrs. Bull, Miss MacLeod, and Nivedita to Kamarhati to meet Gopal Ma, who had the vision of baby Krishna, or Gopala. She received them cordially and kissed them. As she had no other furniture in her room, they sat on her bed. She served them some puffed rice and sweet coconut balls and shared some of her spiritual experiences with them. When they returned to Calcutta, Swamiji said, "Ah, this is the old India that you have seen, the India of prayers and tears, of vigils and fasts that is passing away."
Yeah. So it is unimaginable. And that Aghormani Devi, Gopal Ma, she used to love Sri Krishna as baby. So Sri Krishna also appeared in front of her, would ride on her shoulder. Someone, she was doing japam, so Gopal will take away the snatch the rosaries. So like that, and such a simple lady. Narendranath used to argue with Sri Ramakrishna that what you see, various vision, is all your hallucination. And Sri Ramakrishna, no, she talks to me. Oh, that is possible. All your imagination. Hallucination even. He never hesitated to tell that. Then one day, Sri Ramakrishna engaged Narendranath with Aghormani Devi. Whatever you experience, you tell him. And then Aghormani Devi told Narendranath that I Gopal comes and then sits on my lap, and I feed him, etc. And then Baba, then my child, is it all my imagination? So Naren was in tears, and he would say, no mother, all real." So he would never argue with that lady. Yes, go ahead.
In the middle of November 1898, Mrs. Bull and Miss McLeod came to Calcutta and stayed with Nivedita in her house at 16 Bospara Lane. Holy Mother was staying nearby at 10-2 Bospara Lane. One day, Mrs. Bull asked Holy Mother to consent to having her photo taken, but she declined. She was too shy to go to a studio and unveil her face in front of a photographer whom she did not know. Then Mrs. Bull said to her, "Mother, I wish to take the photo to America and worship it." Then Holy Mother consented, asking only that the photographer be a woman. When no female photographer could be found, an English photographer named Mr. Harrington was hired to come to Holy Mother's residence. Before he arrived, a black screen was set up as a backdrop on the wall of an attic room, and Holy Mother was seated on a fur asana, a small rug, over a cot. 2 tubs containing a palm tree and a fern were at either side of her. Nivedita, Mrs. Bull, and Golap Ma arranged her cloth, hair, and veil. When the photographer came, Holy Mother cast her eyes down and went into an ecstatic mood. This was the first photo taken of Holy Mother. She regained her normal state after some time, and the photographer took the second photo, which is now worshipped everywhere.
So that the closed eyes. So that one was first, and then that second one. That also, like people say that cleverly Nivedita said, "Mother, it is all over." Then only she looked at them, and that was the second time was taken. Yes.
Say that again, that last sentence.
Like, she was not always looking at, say, like down, not facing camera like this. So,
What made her look up?
no, it is said, I mean, I was not present there, but it is said that Nivedita told that, "Mother, it is over." Then she looked at. But still she was in deep mood. That's why, see our pictures. They are, eyes are like totally indrawn. Okay, go ahead.
A third photo was taken with Nivedita sitting facing her. Holy Mother was then 45 years old. Devotees of the Holy Mother should be grateful to these Western women for arranging to have these photos taken. See more details about the mother's first 3 photographs in Appendix 1.
Later, many pictures were taken, but these 2 are very important. That represents Mother with all her compassion and tenderness. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
Swami, was the first photo, actually, was she younger? Like in the photo in the shrine? She looks younger than 45. Or she's 45?
Was like as Nivedita said, that like a girl, she was always happy, but with a deep, meditative mood. So, like she was putting her eyes cast downward, and only then she opened when it was said that it is over. So that time, that photographer took the second one, and then sidewise, Nivedita is sitting, and mother is sitting. Their side, from the side, they took the third one. Yeah. Okay, go ahead. The details are there, appendix one.
My question though, I was asking in the shrine, in our shrine there, that picture, is she 45 there? She looks in her like 20s or something.
Yeah.
45. Wow. She looked great.
Yeah.
Younger.
Yes. So 53, 1953, and Western ladies came 98. 98. So, say if it 2000 percent, yeah, for 45. 45, yes. 1853 and 1998. So that is the age, 45, yes.
Years later, when she saw her own photo, Holy Mother commented, "Yes, this is a good picture, but I was stouter before it was taken." Yogan, Swami Yogananda, was very ill at that time. I grew thin worrying about him. I was very unhappy. I would weep when Yogan's illness took a turn for the worse, and I would be happy when he felt better. Mrs. Sarah Bull arranged this photograph. At first, I didn't agree to it, but she insisted and said, "Mother, I shall take this picture to America and worship it." At last, the picture was taken. Nivedita wrote about this historic occasion. That photograph was the first time she had ever looked at a grown up man outside her own family or been seen by one. Miss McLeod remarked of Holy Mother's picture, "That's Sarada Devi. She hadn't been seen by a man in her life. Mrs. Bull and Nivedita wanted to have her picture. I asked her, 'Mother, will you be agreeable to sitting in front of the camera?' She agreed. Oh, what utter self-control. She was so calm, but she didn't care for this kind of pomp at all." Years later, Miss McLeod had a wonderful experience regarding Holy Mother's divine presence. One day she went with Swami Nirbhayananda to pay her respects to Holy Mother at her Calcutta residence in Udbodhan and returned to Belur Mutt at dusk. After attending the Vesper service at the shrine of the Mutt and spending a little while in meditation, she was going back to her quarters at the guest house, accompanied by a brahmachari with a lantern. She was walking slowly, absorbed in thought, when the brahmachari heard her say to herself, "I have seen her, I have seen her." Then she whispered to him, "The Holy Mother, I have seen her." She walked all the way to her room, muttering the word mother and adding some other words that her companions did not understand. Holy Mother was fond of.
Like seeing her was rare that time. Uh, Swami Bhuteshanand would say, because Swami Bhuteshanand was president later. So we would ask, "Oh Maharaj, you have seen her?" Well, I saw her, but veiled like this. And people would come and do pranam and go away. So it was very rare that to see Holy Mother. Of course, after that, and when she would be in village, she would be very open. And later also, it's now we display her pictures in every ashram. That happened after 1953, after the centenary year. Before that, it was not kept. If you go to Berkeley Center, you'll see two pictures, Sri Ramakrishna and Swami Vivekananda. Later, Swami Aparanji installed Holy Mother's picture there, but smaller. So because in the beginning it was not there. People would not take in right spirit, that is why it was avoided. And especially in Uttar Pradesh and other places, people were very conservative. That's why we also avoided. But after the centenary, then her glory came out, and then they were for it. And now, more people love mother than Thakur. We monks, we start with Swamiji, dazzling character and this personality. Then we discover Sri Ramakrishna, his guru. But ultimately we settle with Holy Mother. Yeah, go ahead.
Holy Mother was fond of Miss MacLeod and called her Jaya, and her sister, Betty, Vijaya. On another occasion, Miss MacLeod wrote in a letter, I asked her, Holy Mother, about meditation and how to do it. She said to think of the divinity in Swamiji, but I said that in ordinary life he was uppermost always in my mind, but in meditation I purposely excluded him. This did astonish her, but she said that Ramakrishna had said it had taken the power of 7 sages to make Swamiji, and that in Ramakrishna the power of the sages had brought him down to earth. Miss MacLeod loved to talk and was free with Holy Mother. Later, she related to Romain Rolland a conversation she once had with Holy Mother regarding the difference between Ramakrishna and Vivekananda. As they had no common language, someone always acted as an interpreter. Through the interpreter, Miss MacLeod said to Holy Mother, Your husband had the best part. He only had to speak sweet words in India among his fellow men. That is why it was a joy for him. Vivekananda's mission was more painful. He had to be the propagator of Indian thought abroad among strange and hostile people. His role was the more heroic. Yes, the mother answered, Swamiji was the greatest. My husband used to say that he was the body and Vivekananda was the head.
Yeah, so spirit is Sri Ramakrishna. Even Swamiji also admitted that it is my guru who is holding me by hands, and whatever I teach, it is his teachings. He put no claim. Only if there is some mistake, that is my mistakes. I committed those mistakes, but not from Sri Ramakrishna. Swamiji had to face lots of opposition from many quarters, even from his own companions, brothers, even devotees, even Western devotees. So for many issues, like a simple thing like smoking. So that time some people did not like it. And Swamiji used to speak in strict terms. But they wanted Swamiji to be polite and go in roundabout way, in diplomatic way. But Swami said, I don't have that much of time. You can see the letters of Swami Vivekananda. They are his pangs also. You can see how he faced the world. And Sister Gargi's book, Mary Louise Burke, Vivekananda in the West, New Discoveries. So 6 volumes. So there also she painted lots of struggle that Swamiji had to face. Okay, go ahead.
Miss MacLeod also told Romain Rolland about Holy Mother herself, saying, The Holy Mother had a natural affinity with Western women, able to speak with them on any subject, and had a simplicity, a fineness, a delightful disposition. Just as pure as Ramakrishna or Vivekananda, she was all the while living a holy life and at the same time capable of being interested with the joy of a child in the attire of her European friends. Her great valor, however, was not recognized in her own village, where she did not show that she was any different from other women.
Really, that is a very important. When she is in the village, people would think that she is ordinary lady. But here Narendranath Baburam, that Swami Brahmanandji, all are prostrating in front of her. And her word is the last word. So, this significance and this importance is not displayed there in villages, but uh, all the time she is in her own glory. Yeah, go ahead.
Holy Mother and Sarah Bull. Mrs. Bull was a wealthy and generous woman. She helped the Ramakrishna Mission and Nivedita's school financially, and in 1907 she began to send 60 rupees per month to Holy Mother. In 1910, when Mrs. Bull was seriously ill in America, Holy Mother was concerned and dictated a letter to her. The letter was written by Nivedita, and Holy Mother signed it with the Bengali word Ma. It is noteworthy that Ramakrishna never wrote any letters, but Holy Mother dictated hundreds of letters to her Indian and Western devotees and disciples. In parentheses, it says many of those letters are presented in chapter 27. Here is an excerpt from the letter to Sarah Bull written on 28 July 1910. Mother,
What Sri Ramakrishna gave his words directly, and it was recorded. So, as if he speaks to the devotees. And the doubts are cleared. So, Sri Ramakrishna arranged his stenographer. And no need of writing letters. Even later also people would, if they wanted to write to Sri Ramakrishna, what is the what would be his answer? That you find in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. But Holy Mother directly guided them, directly. Yeah. That's what mother is. Mother is not theorizing, chastising, no. Guiding by hands, yes. Go ahead.
Mother, hearing that you are very ill, I am very anxious about you. I heard from your daughter, Nivedita, that you are a little better. I am praying to Thakur, the Lord, for your speedy recovery. I have offered on your behalf to the feet of the Master a tulsi and a bell leaf, and 3 evenings sitting before him I have prayed for you. Please give her, Miss MacLeod, my warm blessings, and do not forget Christine if you see her. And now from our Lord I am sending you a flower and sandal dust, which I offered to him with worship. My deep love and blessing you will realize. Your mother. It seems that Nivedita left India in October 1910 for America to see Mrs. Bull during her illness, and also to raise funds for her school in Calcutta. Like the disciples of Ramakrishna, Nivedita was aware of Holy Mother's spiritual greatness. One day she went to a church in Boston where she saw the Madonna as Holy Mother. On her return home, she noted down in her diary, went to church, saw Sarada Devi as Madonna. Her presence will sanctify. And she immediately wrote a letter to Holy Mother on 11 December 1910.
This is the most beautiful letter. But before we go, we are fortunate to have letters written by Holy Mother. Why? Because some issues came which need regards. So this is now signed or consented by her. That is there. So the one big problem came. Swami Vivekananda wanted to have a Advaita ashram. An Advaita ashram. Advaita ashram means non-dualistic. There should not be any worship of even Sri Ramakrishna as incarnation of God, let alone other gods. So when Swamiji visited that place, so he saw that people have smaller shrines in their rooms. So he criticized that, I thought there will be one ashram where there is no photo worshipped. accept Advaita thoughts of a non-dualistic reality. But I find the old man has entered here also. So criticizing this, Swamiji went away, returned to Calcutta. So one of such a disciple wrote to Holy Mother that Mother, Swamiji said this and I am upset, what to do? Then Holy Mother wrote that he who was or is our Guru is Advaita. And I firmly say that we are Advaitin. So once for all it is settled. So this is historic. We require such firm decision, which nobody could take other than Holy Mother. Even people would not take Swamiji's advice. But what Holy Mother said, that's 100%. So this is one thing, like the Mahendranath Gupta, who recorded the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. He always thought Sri Ramakrishna taught like first realize God, then only this world. But Swamiji has changed this. That you serve God in human being. You serve in patience, in old people, decrepated. So this he did not like. Though he adored Swamiji, but he did not like this idea. So it happened that once Holy Mother was in Varanasi and we had a Seva ashram. And still it is there. So Holy Mother visited that place and donated 10 rupees that time. Now we have preserved that 10 rupee note. And Mother said, I am very happy that Naren has organized this, and it is Thakur's work that is being done. Thakur is being worshipped through human being. So when she said this, and then Brahmananji was there, Rakhal Maharaj. So he sent words that Mother said this. You go and tell Mahendranath Gupta. And then and then he asked, now what do you think? Then when when Mother said that, that's final. So this is the authority Mother had. When she said something, that's final. Yes. Okay, now this letter is very important. Yes, go ahead.
Beloved Mother, this morning, early, I went to church to pray for Sarah. All the people there were thinking of Mary, the mother of Jesus, and suddenly I thought of you, your dear face and your loving look, and your white sari and your bracelets. It was all there. And it seemed to me that yours was the presence that was to soothe and bless poor S, Sarah's sick room. And, do you know, I thought I had been very foolish to sit in your room at the evening service to Sri Ramakrishna trying to meditate. Why did I not understand that it was quite enough to be a little child at your dear feet? Dear Mother, you are full of love. And it is not a flushed and violent love like ours and like the world's, but a gentle peace that brings good to everyone and wishes ill to none. It is a golden radiance full of play. What a blessed Sunday that was, a few months ago, when I ran into you, the last thing before I went on the Ganges, and ran back to you for a moment as soon as I came back. I felt such a wonderful freedom in the blessing you gave me and in your welcome home. Dearest Mother, I wish we could send you a wonderful hymn or a prayer, but somehow even that would seem too loud, too full of noise. Surely you are the most wonderful thing of God, Sri Ramakrishna's own chalice of his love for the world, a token left with his children in these lonely days, and we should be very still and quiet before you, except indeed for a little fun. Surely the wonderful things of God are all quiet, stealing unnoticed into our lives. The air and the sunlight and the sweetness of gardens and of the Ganges. These are the silent things that are like you. Do send to poor S. Sarah the mantle of your peace. Isn't your thought now and then of the high calm that neither loves nor hates? Isn't that the sweet benediction that trembles in God like the dewdrop on the lotus leaf and touches not the world? Ever, my darling mother, your foolish cookie, Nivedita.
See, really. So, according to her, Holy Mother is the chalice of Sri Ramakrishna. So, surely you are the most wonderful thing of God Sri Ramakrishna's own chalice of his love for the world. Greatest gift. So, very good. This is Holy Mother, and written by a rationalistic and very, very rigorous, according to Swami Vivekananda, lioness of the Western world, Nivedita. So she wrote this. Anyway, there should not be any question, I understand. Eh? Akshay?
Yes.
Oh, is there? Okay, go ahead.
Like, what does it mean that Sri Ramakrishna is Advait?
Okay, so, that's wonderful. You are nice boy. Okay, you know, we have various thought processes, and it is according to our mental state. See, when you see around you this world, you cannot deny this world. And naturally, this world was made by God or run by God. So there is no harm thinking so. Rather, it is easier. You know, you are loving God, you are offering something, you are getting prasad. So this is not bad. But, you know, it's like little separation is there. And individual soul is anumatra, like a speck. So small and great. This division is there. But then if you have a relationship with him, that God is my father, my mother, my philosopher, my guide, everything, then you are closer to God. So that's called Vishishta Advaita, where a devotee connects oneself with God. Vishishta Advaita, qualified non-dualist. I mean, gradually unification is going on. Still it is far away, you know. So there is another attitude, it's called Advaita, non-dual. This self is not separate from the Supreme Self. And this self, and that self, not tat tvam asi, thou art that, neha nanasti kinchana, here there are not many, or sarvam khalvidam brahma, everything is Brahman. So all these ideas, it is, people don't want separation. In separation, you know, like if a person loves God as dualist, they have terrible separation. Sri Ramakrishna used to experience that separation, and his body would burn, and he would cry, In the separation, we also feel separation when our near and dear one goes away or dies. So this is only simple experience. But a devotee, when loves God, his association, God's association also gives immense joy. And his separation also gives immense joy, immense sorrow. So this is a very, very fluctuating thing. But a time comes when one feels that I am he, I am the self, not this body, not this mind, not these adjuncts. But behind this, it is that unification where there is no two. So this is also an attitude. So Swamiji wanted to have all these three. Plus, there is another ashram we have in Varanasi. It is called Ramakrishna Advaita Ashram. So this is another attitude. Ramakrishna alone is there. So one thing is Dvaita, dualist, one is qualified monism, and another is non-dualistic, that is called Advaita. But another thing is Ramakrishna Advaita. So if a devotee wants to imagine that it is only Sri Ramakrishna, like you can see ISKCON people, only Sri Krishna. And Christians, they think only Christ. That's also an attitude. So our ashrama must have all these 3, 4, or as many as possible. So that is why Swamiji wanted to have one Advaita ashram. There no outer worship, no rituals will be observed. That is why Advaita ashram. And Ramakrishna, though he is non-dual, as Holy Mother certified, he who is our Guru is Advaita, means non-dualistic. It's very, very interesting. Holy Mother, how she gave solution. A disciple said, to Holy Mother, Mother, I don't want nirvana, total emancipation. I don't want. Why? Because we lose a mother. Then she said in Bengali, very nice words, Pagol chele, my crazy boy. Like this. Very affectionate. Pagol chele. Sri Ramakrishna is Advaita. Sri Ramakrishna is Nirvana himself. So this is unimaginable. Sri Ramakrishna appears as human being. Niranjanam Nityam Ananta Rupam. He is Niranjanam, without any taint. And he is eternal. Niranjanam Nityam Ananta Rupam. He has infinite moods, infinite ways. And that is why we honor all. Even dualistic, very good. We are worshipping a stone, very good, go ahead. No problem with us. And somebody says, no, there is no God. Very good. But you have to pray in this way. I know God, you are not there. Okay, fine. But I have this question. So this way we have no problem, because God has infinite dimension. And Ramakrishna is that infinite taken and manifested. That's why Ramakrishna Advaita. Okay. So, Holy Mother decided once for all, Sri Ramakrishna is Advaita. I firmly say, she wrote, I firmly say, he who is our Guru is Advaita. And we are Advaitins. Advaitin means including everybody, everything. Not only Advaita alone is real. No. That's why here Ramakrishna mission is liberal. Where there is limitation, we shun that. Why should we be limited? Sri Ramakrishna would say, that I want to enjoy anything in so many ways, like say potato curry, so fried or curry or any form. So why Sri Ramakrishna aghe habo kano? Why should I be monotonous? Let me enjoy God in so many forms. That's why nothing is excluded. In Ramakrishna mission, okay, we we honor all, no problem. So Advaita means including everything, all. Not only Advaita alone is real. Okay? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay. Om Niranjanam Nityamanantarupam Bhaktanukampa Dhrita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Parameshamidhyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namama Jananim Sharadam Devim Ramakrishnam Jagadguru Pada Padme Tayo Sritva Pranamami Muhurmuhu. So Niranjanam means untainted, Nityam eternal, Anantarupam you have infinite number of forms, ways, aspects. Bhaktanukampa because of the compassion towards the devotees. You have taken form, Dhrita Vigraham Vai. Ishavataram, you are the incarnation of God. Paramesham Idyam, and you are supreme being. That's why you are to be worshipped. Bhaktanukampa Dhrita Vigraham Vai Ishavataram Paramesham Idyam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasanamam. That's why I offer my pranams to you. Bowing down my head. Okay, thank you.
Pranam Maharaj. Pranam Swamiji.
Namaste, namaste.
Namaste.